Hello everybody, my name is Arm Gaming, but you can just call me Ryan, and today we are here to finish up talking about what WWE should do at WrestleMania 32. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. And we were about to start talking about the Intercontinental title match when the match ended. Oh god, I just saw this arena for the first time, and it is not pretty. I'll have to download a new one. Whatever. Yeah, so about this Intercontinental title match, they can do other spots. I'm not here to talk about like what they should do specifically in the match or any of that kind of stuff. I'm here to talk about like how they should book the endings and who should come out like looking, like $1,000,000, and who should come out looking like, a million piles of crap, whatever. Anyway, I think the Intercontinental title ladder match one is fairly standard. We all know who should be the center point, the centerpiece of all this. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because nobody else in the match is. No, I don't care about any of the other people in the match, and that sucks to say. Because 2 weeks ago I cared about Dolph Ziggler. I cared about Dolph Ziggler when he was fighting Triple H, like I said 2 weeks ago. But they've already made me not care about him again. Jesus Christ, this arena's bad. Yeah, but they've already just made me lose interest in him again. He's just back in the fold for the Intercontinental title. Plus, I just saw him lose to Kevin Owens. Why is he even getting a title shot? I just saw him lose to Kevin Owens at the last pay-per-view. But yeah, the centerpiece of this, Owens and Zayn, easily. And so it's down to these two. Everybody else is taken out by some crazy spot or whatever. And they're battling on top of the ladder. And then Owens just lands something, like maybe a power bomb, maybe something after they're going at it endlessly. Neither one wants to get up. And then maybe like Owens like bangs Zayn's head off the Intercontinental title, and Zayn just falls back. And then just the crowd just goes, and then just gasp, and Zayn is down. He's forced to look up and watch as Kevin Owens unstraps the Intercontinental Championship, and Kevin Owens retains. Because in my opinion, there are only two people who should be in the running for winning this match, and there's only one person who really should win, and it's Kevin Owens. If anybody else but Kevin Owens wins this ladder match, I would be extremely surprised. And if anybody but Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn wins, I'll be extremely disappointed. Because, and even if Sami Zayn wins, I'd kind of be a little bit disappointed. Because the whole point of Sami Zayn is for him to be an underdog, and within one pay-per-view you're going to put a title on him. That doesn't make him look like an underdog. That makes him look like the top dog. So I think just keep the title on Owens. He works well with it. It makes the title feel more important, especially if somebody retains with it finally. Up next, after that one, I'll talk about AJ Styles and Y2J. Not much should be different than most of their other fights, except for the fact that I think the Styles Clash should be the move that finishes this match. It should be a long, grueling battle between Jericho and Styles, trading every big move they have. And then finally Styles hits the Styles Clash. Maybe a Super Styles Clash. I don't know what they want to try. But I think it should end with a Styles Clash, because you gotta put it's the only thing that we really haven't seen so far. And I hate to say that, but I've seen like 3 or 4 matches from these guys together already. What else could they pull out? I've already seen Jericho tap out. I don't really need to see that again. And I've already seen Jericho pin AJ. Nobody wants to see that happen again. So I mean, I think Styles should get the clean win here. Hits the Styles Clash. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'm being too optimistic for them to finish off the match with the Styles Clash. I don't know. Up next, let's talk about Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, the match of the hour, as you can see on the TV. So I think for a while it should just probably be Lesnar, dishing out. Maybe Ambrose gets in a few shots and crazy spots here and there, but it should pretty much be Lesnar on top for most of it. And then out of nowhere, pretty much like Ambrose is like halfway under the ring, and then Lesnar pulls him out, and then Ambrose has got the barbed wire wrap baseball bat that he got from Mick Foley, and he just puts it right into Brock's stomach, and he's just curled over. Brock rolls into the ring, and Heyman's got that stunned look on his face, like full of fear, like, oh no, my meal ticket's about to get fucked up. And then Dean whacks him over the back with it, and he just keeps brutalizing him. And then he eventually misses, and Brock picks him up. He's got him in position for the F5. But Ambrose escapes, low blows him, And then he hits dirty deeds on the steel steps, and Brock's got no clue where he is. He's bleeding from all over the place, and Ambrose gets to cover the 1, 2, 3. Because in my opinion, Ambrose really needs to win way more than Brock Lesnar at this point. This will be the first time since The Undertaker beat... This will be the first time since, I believe, Triple H beat Brock Lesnar. Oh god, my controller. Oh, anyway. Yeah, like I was saying, this will be the first time anybody has beaten Brock Lesnar clean since he fought Triple H at WrestleMania 29, I believe. Because after that, I believe he beat Triple H again. After that, he beat Triple H, CM Punk, Big Show, then The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Yeah, so this would be the first time he's lost clean to anybody since WrestleMania 29. Because the Undertaker thing obviously wasn't clean. And he didn't get pinned in either triple threat he was involved in. You know, Roman Reigns pinned Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins pinned Roman Reigns. But, so, this would be the first time, like, he has been pinned straight up. Just nothing happened. Dean just pins him straight up. It makes Dean look legit. Brock's really not gonna, like, take much flack for it. Like, yeah, he got beat, but think of what Dean had to do to beat him. He put razor wire to his freaking chest, his back. God knows what else he did during the match. And then he hit one of the most dangerous moves in WWE onto steel steps. So I think Brock would survive taking this loss. I have a bad feeling that they're just going to have Brock beat him in the end. Something CM Punk-esque from SummerSlam. Something like that. Where maybe it looks like at some points Dean's gonna win, but then they just kind of take away any hope. But yeah, wow. I didn't expect that to happen. I thought that match would last a little bit longer. Anyway, I will just, rematch. Okay, anyway. Up next, let's talk about Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. So, I was saying just let this match go on for, like, good 10 minutes. Undertaker's pretty much badly beating Shane, and then all of a sudden he tosses him through the cage door, and then Shane's just trying to get away at this point, so he climbs up the cell, and Undertaker just looks up. He shakes his head in disappointment or disgust or whatever you want to call it, and he just follows him up. And then after Shane kind of tries to fight back for a little while, Taker tombstones him on top of the cell, and he goes down, and then he's up there, and he's got to be thinking, like, well, what do I do now? How do I get this guy off of here without, you know, murdering him? Even though, you know, obviously that wouldn't be, like, what they'd say, but just, you know, use your imagination for what they'd say for that part. But so Undertaker drops down, he goes back under the ring, he grabs bolt cutters, and then he kind of tests it out on one of the cell wires. He tests it out, he breaks it, he cuts it, and he sees that it works, so he throws it up there. And then all of a sudden when that happens, something happens. Now, the reason I say something happens is because this really, really, really depends on a certain person's retirement and on Vince McMahon's stubbornness. Now, if Sting doesn't retire, and if Vince McMahon isn't stubborn enough, then I think the light should go black, they should turn back on, and Sting should hit the Scorpion Death Drop on The Undertaker in the ring. But if Sting does retire, which would be very unfortunate considering how they treated him in his 1 year in WWE, then it should be John Cena, obviously. Now, they're saying John Cena might not be healthy to wrestle again until July, but this would only be for a couple moves, maybe a couple punches and an AA on Undertaker, and then he sets him up on a table. Either way, whichever one, use your imagination for it. Imagine as Undertaker tosses the bolt cutters up, they reach the top of the cell, then all of a sudden the lights just go black, and then they both appear in the ring, and Sting's got Taker, like, in the Scorpion Death Drop position, and then he drops him to the floor. Or Cena comes out, and he and Undertaker start brawling, and they get into the ring, and Cena hits the AA. Either way, then whichever one guy it is sets them up on the table, and they start encouraging Shane to use the bolt cutters to cut out a hole, like a large hole, into the cage. So he does. This does take a little while, I understand, but the build up for it would be pretty immense. Like, oh my god, what's he gonna do? And then after he finally gets the piece of the cage off, it would probably have to be a pretty big piece, so it probably would again take quite a while. I don't know, maybe there's a different way they can do this. Maybe you have a different idea. Maybe there's a door or a hole. I don't know. Some way that they can have Shane jump through the cage, pretty much. And then Shane hits a huge 15-foot elbow drop through the pretty much through the Undertaker, through the table, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. And before anybody, then just stunned. Texas is boo, boo, because, you know, it's Undertaker, blah, blah, blah. But then they kind of realize, well, wait a minute, this finally means that I don't have to see the Authority every week on Monday Night Raw cutting a promo. Maybe I shouldn't boo so much anymore. And if they don't, they're still booing, well, who gives a damn? Because, honestly, sometimes your people are just gonna boo. And quite honestly, I'd be very happy if this happened. And, then Shane says, well, since I'm the Authority now, since Vince McMahon is a forgotten thing, hey, guess what? Undertaker, your WrestleMania ban is lifted. So, he never misses out on WrestleMania. That's kind of announced. And then Taker gets the whole standing ovation from the crowd after Shane's kind of carried off. Well, alright, let's pretend that whichever one it is. If it's John Cena, have John Cena start carrying off Shane. And if it's Sting, have Sting gone. Sting just disappears, and then the refs are carrying off Shane, and then he grabs the mic either way as he's being carried out. And he's like, the Undertaker's WrestleMania ban is lifted. Get that right out of the way, because I get it's to add interest to the fight, but it is just so damn stupid that they ever even added that stipulation. And just get it out of the way right then to make sure that everybody knows, like, listen, he'll be back. Because it's pretty obvious at this point anyway, because just now you set up a match between either Undertaker and John Cena or Undertaker and Sting. Either way, I wouldn't be disappointed. And now let's get to the main event. Oh, there are a lot of ways they can make this better, but I'm gonna roll with the punches as they are. Triple H versus Roman Reigns. So anyway, let's just go. The match ends with Roman Reigns hitting, I don't know, a second, maybe a third spear on Trips. Gets the 1, 2, 3. The crowd starts booing, throwing garbage. We don't want to see this. We don't want this. And then Triple H grabs this thing. He grabs a microphone, realizing he needs to do something. And then he says on the microphone, "Good thing I always have a plan B. The Authority always wins, Roman." And then he says, "I'm using my rematch clause right now, but I'm not going to be the one wrestling you right now." And then the lights go out. Dark. Black. Then they come back on and Bray Wyatt's in the ring laughing. And then Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper are surrounding the ring. He's outnumbered. And who's left to help him? Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose got destroyed by Brock Lesnar. Yeah, he won the match, but he's probably hospitalized by this point. The Usos, they lost earlier. They're probably somewhere crying. So it's just Roman out there alone with the Wyatt family and Triple H. And after Roman fights, he keeps fighting. He does this whole spiel. He cocks the fist, does whatever. They maybe tease that he might actually be able to do it, which I wouldn't want. But, you know, I just know them. And then Bray Wyatt finally puts him down for the 3 count. Hits his sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. And then And then the last thing showed is Bray Wyatt kneeling over a broken Roman Reigns with the championship, having the Wyatt family members standing behind him. And then Bray Wyatt can even make a proclamation at the end that we are the Authority now. And that's how I would have done, or that's how I would do WrestleMania 32, which is in, I think it's in about 8 or 9 days. I'm not really thinking about it too hardly. But yeah, that's how I would do it. So, hopefully you guys all enjoyed. I'm sure they won't do as good, or they maybe won't have as many cool things happening. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. But thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you absolutely wreck that like and subscribe button. And hopefully they do something decent for WrestleMania, because I just can't stand seeing a bad one. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you know, I already said this all. So bye!